team win. Really proud of our players in terms of the way they competed in the game. I think that's the big thing that we wanted to get our players to get back to is, you're responsible for the identity that you create, and it's personal in terms of how you play and how you compete in the game to try to dominate the guy you're playing against. And I saw a lot of that in the second half, so we took a step in the right direction. We had to overcome a lot of adversity in the game. We didn't get off to a great start, but the players just kept playing one play at a time and made the plays in the end of the game that we needed to make. So Jace McClellan, offensive line stepped up in the second half. Defense had some big stops. They only scored once in the second half. Got to stop when we needed to. So thought Bryce did a really good job of managing the game today. It was a tough night in a lot of ways, but a great night for us because I think we took a step in the right direction as a football team, and I'm really proud of our guys for the way they competed in the game.
Questions? Right up front, Joe.
Coach, Byron Young had 11 tackles, took multiple sacks. Just how important was he in tonight's win?
Byron played great. Mississippi guy, so I'm sure he was fired up for the game, but I thought he played great. But he's played really well for us all year. He's a good leader on the team. It means a lot to him, and glad to see him doing well.
Yeah, we didn't see Jameer in the second half. Was there a reason behind that?
He twisted his ankle.
Questions?
Coach, Jace McClellan had 84 yards. Kind of speak to how he did this game, kind of stepping up with Jameer.
Well, I mentioned, what a great job he did in the second half. He made some physical runs. The run he made on 2nd and 12, he basically did that on, grit and determination. Really ran hard in the game, played physical. He's played well for us all year. Jameer has just played really well too, so Jake stepped up tonight and took advantage of it, no doubt.
Coach, how difficult was it trying to stop that Judkins kid? Just how fast is he compared to what you saw in film at the start of the game?
Running back, Coach.
Running back Judkins.
Yeah, he's a good player, and they're tough when they spread you out with 4 wide receivers and they run the ball so well, and they have such good backs. And he's an outstanding player, fast, physical, can make you miss, hard to tackle, and you got to try to stay in nickel. You can't play dime because you can't stop the runs, and you can't really match up on the passes. So one of the things that happened in the second half that helped us when we got some third down stops is we stopped the run a few times. We got 3rd and long so we could play dime, so we could match up on the passes, and got a couple sacks and got off the field on 3rd down, which was huge in the game.
How much of a spark did Kendrick Law provide when you kind of put him in the third quarter?
Kendrick Law has really come along. He's a guy we really was hopeful that would be a contributor. He pulled his hamstring, several weeks ago, was out for a couple weeks, but now he's back to full strength. He's played really well on special teams a couple weeks, and I thought he did a really good job, but he's a guy we've been trying to get in the lineup now for some time.
What was the message you delivered to the offense after that 4th down play early in the game, and how did things change after that play?
It wasn't a real good message. Obviously the miscommunication on the snap count, the play, the shift, the motion. But I think those kinds of things, when you talk about, sometimes you just got to do simple things better. Simple things like focusing on doing your job, focusing on the snap count, focusing on who you block, focusing on what your eye control is in terms of what you're looking at. You got to do simple things better. And that was the message that I gave to the team before the game, and they obviously got it, right then when we're not doing simple things very well. So, but I think the offense really responded, especially in the second half. I was really pleased with the way they responded on the line of scrimmage, to be able to run the ball effectively and to make plays on 3rd down when we needed to, and move the ball, control the ball, and control field position.
How much of a
Eli Ricks, how's he doing health-wise? And also, you always talk about pride in performance from your players. What ways did you see that tonight?
Well, Eli Ricks is okay. I think his head is the issue. So we haven't been able to test him from a concussion protocol standpoint as of yet. But I saw him in the locker room. He's okay. What was the other question?
You talk about pride in performance, you guys having that. How did you see that tonight?
Well, all I've been talking about is how the players competed in the game, and I think that they have a lot of pride in what the standard of playing Alabama is, and they were challenged to play to that standard, to take it personal, to understand that they're responsible for the identity that they create by how they play on the field. It shouldn't be anybody else that makes that determination for them. And I think that's, they took it personally, and I think they showed it in the game tonight.
Couple more, Katie.
How much of a momentum swing was that forced fumble by the defense before the half?
It was huge. I mean, you know, set up a score, got us to 17-14. And, you know, from that time on, I thought we played a little better in the game on both sides of the ball. So, but, you know, that getting 17-14 at halftime. But, you know, nobody even talked about the score at halftime, which is exactly how we wanted to be. Because the whole focus in this game was we got to play one play at a time for 60 minutes in the game, and nobody's looking at the scoreboard, and they competed that way.
Anything else? Okay, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.